Hello, this is Greg Sprunk with Superior Cleaning Equipment, and we have a special guest today, Ralph Gonzalez, who is our parts manager for our Phoenix facility, and we're going to talk today about a common item, nozzles, and finding out what the right nozzle is for your pressure washer. Ralph, you have been in the business for how many years?
Be 30 years.
30, same as me. So a lot of experience here, but what happens is people come in and they're looking for, and they'll bring in a nozzle, or they'll just say, hey, I've got this type of pressure washer and I need a nozzle for it, right?
Yeah.
And there's actually a way to identify what the nozzle is on your pressure washer. On your serial plate, it'll have your nozzle orifice size, and the nozzle orifice size is calibrated by the pulley, the type of pump, and the engine.
Yeah, the PSI in gallons per minute.
Okay.
There's a chart, a universal chart for that.
So it's a combination of PSI, gallons per minute, and then what dictates, what the nozzle orifice size is. Is it the pulley system or the horsepower combination?
Well, they experiment at the factories, whatever the brand is.
Okay.
They experiment trying to get as much pressure out of that tiny hole where the water comes out.
Yep.
They try to get as much out of that without the engine or the electric motor overloading.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what happens is if you have too small of an orifice on your pressure washer, so they come in here, let's say the orifice takes a number 4 orifice size and they buy a number 3, then it kicks it into bypass, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a lot wear and tear on the unloader and on the pump also.
Okay. And conversely, if they buy too large of an orifice, their 3,000 pressure washer, PSI pressure washer could turn into a 2,000 PSI pressure washer, right?
Yeah, you lose your pressure. Yeah.
Right. So the larger the orifice size, the loss of pressure. So it's really important to have the right nozzle size. So on the nozzle, here's a screw-in nozzle, and then here's a regular nozzle, and we'll flash the pictures up of this later. They have a 5-digit number on them. This one says, it's a yellow, so that's the spray pattern fan. It's a 15-degree spray pattern. It has 15060. 15 means the spray pattern, 060 means the orifice size, right? Same thing on a screw-in nozzle. It's up at the top here, and what it has is it has 25040. So that means it's a 25-degree spray pattern, and it's a 4 or a 040, usually a 4 gallon a minute orifice size. Does the orifice size number the 040, 05.5, 060, does that correspond usually to the gallons per minute of the machine, or
It
not?
usually does, but like I was saying before, the experiment, sometimes they try to get more pressure out of a smaller,
Right.
yeah, without overloading your motor.
Yeah. Okay, good. So people come in and they want to buy a nozzle, or they're looking for something online to get the right nozzle to have the optimum pressure in gallons per minute for their pressure washer. They need to look at these numbers and make sure that these numbers match what they're ordering on the orifice size and then the spray pattern they want, right?
Yeah, and especially with electric motors, if you use too small of a orifice or a nozzle, you overload your motor. So
Okay.
you're gonna kick out.
You're
your
gonna trip the breaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's really crucial there.
Good. The other thing that we haven't talked about, but is also important, is that being in the contract cleaning business for me for about 6 years before I came into this business and bought the dealership here about 30 years ago, I was always surprised by the fact that a worn nozzle, because you're pushing water through the size of a pinhole, and you are over time widening
Wears
this,
out, yeah.
right? Wears out.
Yeah.
So you can pick up 300, 400, 500 PSI. If you got a 6-month or a year-old nozzle that you've never changed, you put a new nozzle in there, you can pick up some PSI, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what we talked about in another video, which we'll be doing, and I did a podcast on, which is nozzle down troubleshooting. Why it's important to start with something small like this. And how much is a nozzle usually? What's this cost?
$750.
Yeah, $750. Before you get into the unloader, the pumps, the valves, all that stuff, replace your nozzle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Thank you, Ralph.
Yeah, and then it's a wear item, so you want to replace it, occasionally.
Yeah.
If you start losing pressure, you want to, or if it starts plugging up on you,
Yep.
you got to take it off and clean it out. Otherwise, your pattern is not going to spray as good as it used to.
And if you've got another simple deal too, a lot of times is if you've got nothing coming out of the nozzle, or you've got just a little bit of whatever, make sure that you take this off and then
Smack
bang it
down,
on the
yeah.
counter and make sure there's any debris, because you can see through it even though they're small like that.
Yeah.
Good.
Mhm.
Well, appreciate your information. Okay, so that's on nozzles and buying the right size nozzle. Thanks for tuning in to our YouTube channel, and we look forward to talking to you in the future. Remember, we're at www.sceclean.com, and you can call us anytime at 800-635-4903, and Ralph's extension is 25. So thanks for the business.